What's up, people lovers? WTF happened in June 2025. Just shortly after our last episode, Hera won Warlords. 5-1 fashion there against Museo. Tato took third place against Leary. And Hera is on a crazy run. Nosobe Mayo on Reddit actually collected the sets of basically the last S-tier run, and you can see he only lost 3 sets there. One group stage match against Mr. Yo in Warlords 2, one group stage match in TTL against freaking Andy, and one irrelevant match at NAC 5 against the Viper. So you can kind of count like 16-9 in series. Absolutely wild. He lost one this month. We will talk about that one a bit later. And just to visualize a bit more, like those are basically the last 3 years for him, or 2.5 years. Pretty wild how dominant he is against the very best in the world. And well, he can not only do it in 1v1, he can also do it in 2v2s. He won Cartographers, $50,000 tournament together with DauT's against Yo and Lux. Quite a convincing final there as well. Semi-final against Leary and Hart was a bit closer. Really interesting set against Onimaru and Gamma Legion. I will talk a bit about that one later. And well, just to showcase you how funny the finals were when it comes to playstyles with Hera, DauT, Lux, Yo. Look at the APM. Yeah. Efficient APM of the 4 players. You have to love it. You have to love it. Yeah. Just built different. Which brings us to Medieval Masters, where it was really close for Hera. A $10,000 tournament happening right now. Spoiler alert. We are in the semifinals starting over the next days. I think we have them, tomorrow. So you have 1 day to catch up with all those sets. Leary versus Tato. Fortress, 2.5 hour game. Running out of wood. Pretty crazy one if you want to rewatch that one. And Hera MBL. After MBL even... No, he got it to 3-3. Socotra there. Sadly not the most competitive game 7. Nikov having a crazy good run. Making it through against Sebastian in the group. Leaving Lugao behind him as well. Leary got first there. And the thing that I said, ACM actually beating Hera 2-1 here. And a nice performance there by ACCM. Taking the W, but then falling to Mr. Yo. That's part of the esports. Although now I have a different thing still. Let's quickly remind ourselves that Gamer Legion had 2 teams, and one of them fell a bit earlier. Am I even finding them? That's one Gamer Legion. And the other one... Now this is the moment where you can type and tell me. I wasn't let it happen. Now I have to be very structured and think. Kinda GL. Oh yeah. Tato and Viper losing to MBL and Sorakuma here 3-1. Followed by actually another upset in a 3-3 tournament sudden death. GL lost to Onimaru 4-3 as well. Tattooed out Viper. So, yeah, slipping up a bit there in tournaments for sure. And now we are getting into the Louvre. The Louvre, the museum with most visitors in the world. Yeah, pretty sure. Actually had the first big collaboration with the PC game, Age of Empires. And they had an exhibition about the Mamelukes and did some stuff here. And yeah, that was basically them going through the Louvre, looking through some old artifacts. They had a panel talk then going through everything. And in the end, they actually played a campaign especially designed for this one. Especially for the French community, pretty big. And I think they played Age of Empires 2, 4, and showcased some parts of AoE 3 there as well. Yeah, pretty POC collaboration there. Good for Age of Empires, and represented itself pretty well there. Then we have the tournament calendar revealed for the next 12 months. And right now, as you saw, we are in Medieval Masters. Then we have a bit of a summer break going into Sun Disaster. We have Master of Hyper Random, 10,000, 10,000, going into Ling Yuan Cup, a LAN event, $50,000 in China. The Luxury, $20,000, a LAN TBA in Germany. A bit of a break. January, TTL with $100,000 returning to be a pretty big one. A MEMP event, Medieval Masters 2, and LAN in Brazil, hosted by Onimaru. That's what the calendar looks like for the next 12 months. There could be some additions still. There could be some edits as well. If there are like 2 weekends free, for example, here the gaps, it's mainly for like offline events to have their qualifiers. Community feedback was pretty happy that we have a calendar. Obviously, the lack of team games was a bit disappointing. I was guest in the Town Center podcast and said that this year team games made less sense than next year, and people will understand why next year. Not much to go by, but yeah, if you're a team game fan, I think 2026 will be better for you. Also, together with that, there was a release of the Unified Handbook. If you don't know what that is basically a rulebook for Age of Empires and all Age of Empires 2 tournaments in the future. So if you're a small tournament host, you can just use this. If you're a big tournament host, you can just apply and say, okay, those are the rules that we are changing. And it should standardize all the stuff in the Age of Empires 2 world. It's pretty long, but you only need to read through it once and then you understand everything. We will have our big meeting with all the updates and all the changes in 2 weeks, together with the Players Council and all the tournament hosts, the tournament admins, yada yada. It is relatively long, but well, there's a lot of stuff to discuss, a lot of stuff to debate. Yeah, so I'm pretty happy with what we achieved there. We aren't 100% where we want to be, but overall, this is nice. Game of the month. My recommendation is Gamer Legion versus Onimaru Game 1. It is DauT and Hera against Lewis and freaking Andy. And as you can see, pop 130 against 170 here. DauT is going forward on Andy. We have Lewis being deep in Hera space. And as you can see, mass traps here, big engagements. I will link that one down below. It was a really nice one. I blocked the minimap a bit, but you will get the idea here. And that pushes us into the look ahead. A bit on the slower side, we will have the summer break basically. So Medieval Masters will continue. We'll find the winner out of the last 4 remaining players for the $10,000 tournament hosted by Mario Ashe. And then we are, after a bit of a break, Registered Rumble hosted by T90, still in there. And then we are starting with the Chinese LAN qualifier. There will be an international qualifier and then one single spot for Chinese players still left. Which brings us to a screenshot of the month. I clickbaited that in the title as DauT's son. It actually happened last month, but yeah. Someone in Twitch chat had this message for DauT. DauT, I need to get in contact with you. My mother said I was conceived 20 years ago with a one-night stand at an AoE tournament, and I think you may be my father. I'm not asking for money. I just want to meet my father and not waste any more time without my dad. DauT didn't respond, but he really wanted to find out. DauT, would you be willing to take a paternity test so we can both get on with our lives? I will pay for the testing technician, which would come to you, of course. No official statement from DauT. I hope they will figure it out and will finally get reunited. That was it from me. Goodbye, hippo lovers.